Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. This is a podcast. This is a podcast where people come on all the time. Every week we do a new episode, and people come on here and they basically describe their imaginary fantasy house. And I tell them, I go, make it surreal, make it weird, and let's have a good time. Let's make HGTV combined with LSD, right? And I'm not saying that my guests do acid. I'm just saying like the concept is to get surreal and cartoony MTV Cribs in the Rick and Morty universe. And I haven't been let down yet. Every guest blows my mind in some way or another. This podcast is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky. I'm your Southern California realtor. I know that you think there's other realtors out there, but that's because you live in the Matrix and you've been convinced that there's other realtors. There's only one realtor. It's me, Jon Shefsky. If you have any questions, if you want to know how much your house is worth, if you want to buy a new house, if you're thinking about buying apartments and starting to rent them out, I need a multifamily specialist. Send me an email at fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com. Today's episode, I'm so excited about it. This guy's become one of my good friends since I got into real estate, and it's just been it's a journey. You know, when I first got into stand up, I met a bunch of people that I bonded with, and they became lifelong friends. And I feel like the same thing once I got into real estate. This guy became my go-to dude for loans. Not for myself. I wasn't like, hey, can I borrow $50? I got an addiction I can't handle. I mean, like when I have a client that says, how much money will the bank give me to buy my house? I'm like, let me send you to this guy because he's a killer. And I don't mean that he's dangerous, although I've seen him strangle a couple people, but they were hookers. Don't worry. I'm just joking about that part. Seriously, guys, this guy's amazing, and he's a great dude, and I'm so excited to hear about his fantasy house. Cole Strange. I call him Strange Cole every now and then. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this!
Won't you take a moment and over to your fantasy house? You're the host with the most experience guest in your fantasy house. Give money for expensive construction. Feel the limit your imagination.
If you needed $50, I would lend them to you for a drug.
That's like my way of trying to sound fancy when I'm ghetto. I was like, yeah, it's my loan officer. And then I call you, I'm like, hey, can I borrow $40? I'm in a strip club.
Got you.
My loan officer. It seems like that would already be a hip hop thing. Like, that's the hype man, and that's the inspector, and that's the loan officer. You know? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep. 5% interest if you need drugs. No
right?
problem.
I need drugs, yo. I don't need drugs. The only high that I need is enjoying making podcasts, watching my kids giggle, and occasionally riding my mountain bike every 8th week of the year when I'm not working. That's the only high I need. Oh, and a few other somewhat legal drugs, like alcohol. And the devil's lettuce. Try to figure that one out. Where are you from?
I'm from Glendora, California.
Yeah. Glendora is like, if you're listening to this and you don't know, Glendora is like, once you get to Pasadena and you're like, we are too far from LA. Well, then you just keep on going. And then you hit Glendora.
I had a joke with one of my friends about this because you feel like every city that you grew up in, that you lived in, from, I don't know, what's the fancy area? Brentwood, and then you move to LA. Every place that you live, as you go further east, like, that's the boonies. So, like, if you grew up in Brentwood, then it's like, oh, you're so beneath me. You grew up in, and I don't know the areas, but, like,
just
LA,
regular West LA?
Yeah. Oh, wow. You're, like, total, you smoke meth. You're a total piece of crap.
Yeah. Did they film Breaking Bad where you live? Like,
right.
Everywhere outside of East LA, they're like, that's where Breaking Bad was filmed, right?
Exactly. And so, if you grew up in this particular city, then you're like, oh, yeah, I grew up in Glendora. So if you grew up in Rancho Cucamonga, everybody out there, they smoke meth.
you look down upon everyone east of you?
Yes, right, exactly.
Until you get to New York, everyone east of you is a loser.
Right.
And then you get to New York, you're like, whoa, now I'm on my knees again. Hi, I worship you.
Right.
Oh, dude. Do you think Glendora and Glendale have any relation? I've never really done the research. Like, it was Glen and then two different chicks. They paired together, and like Dale and then Dora. And
so in Glendora, there's a street called Leodora, and I think there's some kind of relationship between whoever Glenn was and Leodora. But
do you think Glenn Danzig founded the city?
Who?
Glenn Danzig.
I don't know.
Mother, tell your city not to have curfews.
So after I graduated high school in 2006, went to college and did the college thing, finished in 4 years, and just kind of went on the straight and narrow of, hey, after you graduate high school, you go to college, you get your degree, and then you make money.
You got your degree in having a prescripted life. You're like, okay, this is what they say to do.
Yeah, it's like, just take on the next step. It was very basic.
What was your degree in?
Political science.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all kinds of amazing things to do with the political science degree. So I graduated in 2010, and the Great Recession happened in 2009.
Yeah.
Jobs were hard to come by, so I enlisted in the military as an intelligence analyst in the Army. And that was a really cool gig.
What does that even mean, to be an intelligence analyst? Yes, sir, he's smart.
Yeah.
All right, good work. Good work, soldier.
Smart for the military.
What is it? What does an intelligence analyst do? They just look at info and tell you, like, this looks correct.
Yeah, so an intelligence analyst looks at all of the different types of intelligence that's collected. So you've got GeoInt, you've got OSINT, you've got OSINT, you've got all kinds of different types of intelligence, SIGINT, and what the job of an intelligence...
What's SIGINT?
Signals intelligence.
Oh, okay.
So the job of intelligence...
SIG, bruh. Yeah. That intelligence is SIG AF, bruh. SIG.
So the job of an intelligence analyst is to be like, okay, cool, so we have this phone call conversation, right? Then the bad guys were talking about this thing, and we also have an image of this intelligence, of this guy going from this place to this place. And HUMINT is another, which is human intelligence. So we have this conversation that we had with somebody down in the field about doing this particular thing. And the job of an intelligence analyst is to say, okay, cool. So we have multiple sources of intelligence that give us ideally a high probability that this particular thing is going to happen at this particular place at this particular time, so that we can protect the good guys that are out in the field.
Wow. So you really are, I mean, this is like in the movies, like you really are putting the picture together. You're painting a picture by multiple things coming in, and you're like, well, he's saying this guy's saying this is the thing we photographed.
Right.
It looks like we're leaning towards this is probably what's happening here.
Right.
And this is wow, that's trippy, dude.
Yeah.
You and I have never really talked about this
No,
off camera, whatever you call it, off recording. So that's so cool.
Yeah. So that was really fun. However, at the end of the day, that stuff it's just another report. And there were definitely good things that were to be done working as an intelligence analyst. Yeah. But as I was finishing up grad school, so what happened is I finished up the military. I had my security clearance, and I was like, cool, I'm going to go to I was recommended to go to grad school for national security studies. And the whole idea was, awesome, I've got my top secret security clearance. Combine that with a graduate degree in national security studies, I'm going to go work for the federal agencies. The jobs were not as like a special agent. It was to be somebody that was working in an office, analyzing data. And at first that stuff was cool, right? Because you're looking at a report and you're like, ooh, this is secret information.
You feel like privileged, like I'm in the
James
cool
Bond.
spot. Yeah,
I'm James Bond.
You get a little boner, like your pants get a little tighter, and you're like, I'm kind of a secret agent if you think about it.
That's what a lot of the guys think.
Get in here, Cole. We've got some important intel. And you're like, oh, yes, sir. I'm going to really kick ass for this country.
That's right.
You're like saluting yourself in the mirror. Oh, they don't even know what I know.
That's right.
These people don't even know. Civilians, we call them civs.
Civilians. That's right. These dirty, dirty, dirty civilians.
Are you a civ gender? You know, civilian gender.
It's a good one.
Stop it. Go on, you prick.
So at some point, it was just another report. And cool, like it says secret up at the top, but I'm stuck in a room with no windows. You're not really interacting with people. And I kind of fell out of love with that job as I was finishing grad school. So although I had applied to some of these jobs and actually got offered a couple of them conditional upon my background investigation to get done, it's just like, I've already done this for a handful of years in the Army, and it's just not what I want to do. Right around that time, a guy that I know was like, hey, why don't you come and work at this company that I'm at? And it happened to be the mortgage industry, which you mentioned. You know, I'm your loan guy, which I'm privileged and honored to be.
Likewise, dog. We make a team. This is like an advertisement episode.
Yeah.
So if you like this, work with us, folks.
We'll get it done, man.
Right?
We're doing a good job.
I have a get her done tattoo.
So, got into the mortgage industry and pretty quickly found that the military veterans were an underserved market.
Yeah.
And the rest is kind of history. Like, as you're getting started, and maybe the hustle is somewhat similar as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of your audience are comedians and they get after it at the open mics. And you have to do it every single day or as many times as you can. Very similar as a loan officer. Like, you're just getting after it, talking to as many real estate agents, giving presentations in front of realtors. And so many of them are like, oh, like I already have a loan officer. Or, oh, I already have my favorite comedian that we have come to this club. And I'm like,
is that why you prey on the new girls in the neighborhood like myself?
That's
when
right.
I'm like, I'm brand new. You're like, oh, so you don't have a loan officer yet, do you? You put your arm around me.
You
You're
don't
like,
know
why don't we
any
go have a
better.
beer and some buffalo wings? I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, this guy's taking me for beer and buffalo wings. Before you know it, I'm like, he's my pimp. He's my loan pimp. I do whatever he says. He owns me.
that's my hard close, man. That's normally after like 3 or 4 in.
Yeah.
Is when you do the beers and the wings, but that happened pretty quickly. I was like, let's go straight
Doing
to the
straight
hard
to it.
close.
Doing
Yeah.
straight to it.
Yeah.
I love that about you, though, because you are super personable like that. You're like, right away, I was immediately comfortable. Like, who's this guy? He's cool. I feel like I could, like, right away, I knew you and I could chat. Plus, you were a comedy fan. So I was new to real estate, and you're a comedy fan. So we hit it off right away. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool, dude. Everything. And then we had the connection of my cousin and you being alumni together. And I was like, okay, yeah. Just so our listeners know about this fun, weird story, I'm excited to tell this one publicly because it's just like a cool little thing that happens in life every now and then. When I first got my real estate license, my wife's cousin sent me an email and was like, oh, you got to meet my buddy Cole. He's in the industry. You got to meet him. And I was like, Cole, that name rings a bell. Well, Chris would be on speakerphone with Cole because when I was shadowing my mentor, I'd be sitting there whenever he'd have speaker. Anybody that called, he would just be kind enough to have it on speakerphone so I could hear what the conversations were about, how he was negotiating things, how he was problem solving and whatnot, so I could learn to do the same thing. So he'd be on the phone with you, with Cole, and then it turns out like you're already in the mix with. I mean, it's just like such a small world, and it's I don't know. So if our listeners are there going, "Wow, small world," it's because it's a small world.
It is a small world. And I love the comedy piece to it as well because totally separate from that. At the time before, actually, I think right when we met, I was still working out in Pasadena. And a couple of years prior to that, I was going through a rough time and I was like, I just want to laugh. And somehow I stumbled across the Ice House and kind of came across comedians and watching different people who you happen to know. And so that was another connection that we had is totally separate. I was like, hey man, I really like comedy. And you're like, I'm a comedian. And I was like, that's really cool because that's one of the things that made me laugh and smile when I was going through a rough time.
It's so special too to meet someone that's like, I used the drug that you were producing at your pharmaceutical company.
did.
And I was like, really? It's exciting.
Yep. A lot of late nights after work walking to the Ice House in Pasadena from where I was working down in Old Town Pasadena off of Colorado, straight down to the Ice House a few blocks down.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's still a great club too.
Yeah.
Still is great. Rogan's always there, and yeah, that's a great spot.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. Well, where are you going? What's next? What's happening now? So you grew up in Glendora, you went to the military. What's next?
Right now, about 2/3 of my business is working with military vets. And my end goal, although I can do all loans, a big dream and goal of mine is to build a team of military vets because so often
What is it called? The Expendables? What was the name of the movie? But it's for loaning. Wasn't there a big action movie with all the stars of all the action movies?
I
in
think
history?
it was Expendables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
I just thought when you said build a team of military vets, it's like we're an elite team of military vets.
it's pretty much what's happening.
Okay, what do you guys do? Sorry for cutting you off. It's too much.
No,
fun.
no, you're good.
I can't
This
stop.
is
This is my
great.
podcast. I'm allowed to cut people off.
We're riffing, bro. Is that the right term? We're just
right.
riffing?
That's right. I reserve the right to riff.
Hell yeah. So often military veterans are, when they're in service, are looked at as the baddest of the bad, right? Like they go through really tough training, whether it's a SEAL or Ranger or special, whatever it might be. And then they come back and they've got issues that they're dealing with. They get disability ratings and then they're kind of pushed to the fringes of society. I firmly believe that although they have issues that should and need to be dealt with, they are still those badasses that they were when they were in the military.
Oh, yeah.
And I so desperately want to take those men and women that have gone through service and build a team of military vets that dominate the mortgage industry.
So you're talking about you want to build a team of other vets that are working in mortgage with you, like
correct. They may not be in mortgage right now.
But you see a place for them,
else.
like with the team you're building,
right?
And so cool.
Build that camaraderie, that brotherhood that we had in the military, and bring it into the civilian sector.
Totally,
because they are the hardest working and some of the smartest people that I've ever met.
and they deserve the opportunity to contribute to society and like in that way too. It's like, okay, they did a service, they were possibly even in harm's way and doing that kind of stuff, but it's like they can come back to civilian life and you can still be of service to your country, your fellow Americans, and like the world at large.
Yeah, they've got some amazing training that could be utilized in the civilian sector. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of extra work or a particular type of person to hire them, but they have skills and training that is unmatched.
That's badass.
Civilian world. So that's where I'm headed next.
And you're also good to veterans that aren't coming to work in the industry, but that are getting loans. Because like my client right now, that's you're their loan guy for their home loan. Like, and it's like, dude, it's kick ass. And you know, I meet veterans all the time. And I'm like, hey, if you need someone that like knows all the ins and outs, all the cool shit, this is the dude.
I will figure it out. If there's a way to get it done, we'll get it done.
That's right, and that's why he has a "Get Her Done" tattoo on his ballsack. Where's your fantasy house located?
Between Eureka and the Oregon coast, there's really nothing there. I was on a road trip with one of my buddies to Oregon, and we happened to stop in this. I don't even remember where it was. It was just off the path. The sun was setting, and we were like, hey, we really want to see the sunset on the California coast. So we pulled off, and it was some type of lagoon, and it was the most beautiful. Like, if I ever get married or get engaged to somebody, this is where I would do it.
Wow, you found a place like that in reality?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Black Sand Beach.
Yeah.
As you look south, there's a bunch of like beautiful rocks. If you look behind you, there's a lagoon. So you're literally you're in the middle of two bodies of water.
Yeah.
So you've got a lagoon behind you, and you've got the beach in front of you. And then on the other side are all of the redwood trees, the redwood forest. And there's a mountain, and you've got fog, and it was the most beautiful sight that I've ever seen. So as I was sitting there, I was like, man, if I ever get married or propose to somebody, this would be the spot for sure that
amazing.
I would do it, because it was beautiful. So that's where my fantasy house is.
Okay, that's great. That's I mean, that's great to see you so passionate about this location. Be like, and I built my fantasy house there. Like, I'm just closing my eyes, like foundation laid.
Right.
Okay, describe it to me. So visually, like if I'm walking up to it, what am I seeing?
So on the outside, it looks pretty basic. Everything's clean cut. However, it's a single story, right? Because I don't want to deal with going up stairs or anything like that. And it's got a decent square footage. Let's call it like 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
But as far as the construction of it, like it wouldn't be really intimidating to like your average person. It's clean, clean yard, clean sidewalk, clean build. Like it's not an old house. It's a newer construction.
Okay. Well, what color is it?
It's going to be blue. Although it's a newer home, it's still a craftsman style home.
Craftsman style. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So blue with like
it's got a nice porch.
Okay.
Right. So
love a good porch.
Got your rocking chair on your porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure grew up in Glendora, California, not Glendora, Bama?
So right off the bat, we got to take you to the bathroom.
Okay.
Right? Because we want to make sure if you got to take care of business, we want you to know where to go.
Are you strong arming me? I'm like, I'm good. You're like, I need you to go potty just to make sure. It's been a long drive.
I don't want any problems. So if you have to use the restroom, here it is.
I forgot to mention, Cole, I'm wearing a diaper. So if you can change me real quick, I'd love to get freshened up.
Hell yeah.
What's the bathroom look like? Or what's the entrance that look like that you're dragging me to the bathroom in? What's that, like the flooring, lighting? What's the walls look like?
Yeah, so it's high ceilings.
High ceiling. Good call there.
Yeah, high ceilings. You've got basic lighting, wood floors. I really like wood floors. My house right now has wood floors. I really like that.
Yeah.
They have like a squeak, like as you walk through them, it's got that old like homey feel to it.
Yeah.
As you take each step, it's like crick, crick, right?
Yeah.
Just feels like home.
Okay.
So we go into the bathroom. There's no toilet there.
Okay.
Yep.
And you're in here with me. I'm like, okay, first of all,
Yep.
usually I go to the bathroom by myself. Second of all,
Yep.
where's the toilet?
Yep. So before we start talking about that, there's no toilet. So you're kind of wondering like, hey man, what's up with that?
Something's
I'm like,
missing.
yeah, but let me show you some of the other characteristics of this great bathroom. So for one, your bathroom is going to be soundproof.
Love that.
Yeah. But it's not going to be for the reasons that you think.
Okay.
Like you would think, oh, it's a soundproof bathroom. It's because, you don't want other people to hear what's going on. That's actually not the case. At least not the things that you would think we're concerned about. It's actually for somebody like me. So when I brush my teeth,
Yeah.
I brush my tongue,
Yeah.
right? You like get way back there
Nothing wrong with that.
and you don't want bad breath. You want to make sure that you're taking care of, your tongue. There's all kinds of nasty
So you're gagging
bacteria.
and you don't want people to ask if you're throwing up?
Yeah. So there's been.
Did I guess it right?
Yeah. No,
Oh.
exactly. So there's been multiple times. Yeah.
I almost gagged, just fake gagging.
Yeah. My roommates, actually, when I went on this road trip, I was with one of my buddies and we stopped at a hotel and I was brushing my tongue and he was in the shower. She was in the shower.
Yeah.
And it was a totally separate. He's in the shower. There's a door closed, and I'm brushing my teeth, and he can still hear me gagging. Like, "Hey, man, are you okay?" Like through a closed door, through a shower, he could still hear me gagging. So
You just want it soundproof so no one asks you, like, are you all right? Did you drink a lot last night?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm just brushing my teeth, dude. Leave me alone.
Dude, just brushing my tonsils. Quit harassing me.
But you got to go back there, man. There's a lot of bacteria there. It's where bad breath.
That's why I call it bacteria. It's in the
created.
back.
That's right. So we're brushing our tongue, brushing our teeth. Bathroom is soundproof. There's also what appears to be a tanning bed, but it's not
that.
It's
Okay.
not a tanning bed.
Please don't tell me I lay down to take a shit in your bathroom.
No, you don't. This
Just checking.
So I haven't been to the tanning salon since I was in high school.
I don't think I've ever been to the tanning salon.
Yeah, but they have these like spray tan things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, and you step in, and this is not in video, but I'm a pretty hairy guy, right?
You are. You're a beast.
Yeah, and so I've always wanted to have a place where I could just walk in, and then, bzz, just from the neck down, it's all gone.
And you're just smooth skinned with no hair?
Super smooth.
Just smooth
Super
skin.
clean.
From Armenian werewolf to gay dude in a hair salon that waxes from top to bottom.
That's right. Just walk in, everything's taken care of. Super smooth.
Okay.
That would also be in my fantasy house.
It's what do they call it? Like a nair? A virtual nair? No, a nair.
Body nair.
A body
Does that
nair?
exist?
I mean, it does. It's a fantasy world. You're allowed. Everything exists that you want it to exist. That's the beauty of a fantasy house. You get to make it up.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, seriously though, how do I go to the actual bathroom?
Yeah, so there's no
Thank you for taking the
yeah.
hair off of my body, though.
You bet.
My wife would probably freak out. She'd be like, I guess I like it. I think if you're chubby and you have no hair on your body, I feel like I would look even weirder. Like, hi, I'm like just a big bag of like marshmallowy material, right? You like that? You're like, yes, that's the point. Like a soft leather couch that's been tanned. Okay. Oh, where's the bathroom? Or where's the pooper?
All right, so you've got to go to the restroom.
Yes.
All right. There's a door. Takes you outside. Okay. You open up the door, and don't worry, like nobody's gonna see you. It's like totally different area. There's walls, so you don't have to worry about people that have gone into the backyard coming and seeing you.
So it's outdoor but private.
It's outdoor but private.
Okay.
Have you ever taken? I call them grumpies. Have you ever taken a grumpy out in the wilderness?
I think I have. I never called it a grumpy, so I'm wondering if it's the same thing. But
It's probably one of the most liberating, and also you feel so connected with nature in that moment. So you go to the restroom you take a crap outside. There's just something about squatting
yeah, and just being.
in touch with nature.
I love how you call it a grumpy.
Yeah.
That's like the cutest name for like taking a shit in a hole. It's like when someone says they're in a pickle. It's like, I just murdered someone and I need help burying the body. I'm in a little bit of a pickle.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta
It's
take a grumpy.
It's a little grumpy.
Got to take a grumpy.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's just something, at least for me, when I have gone and done this a handful of times, whether it's in military while we were out in the field or in Nigeria. You go out and you feel in touch with nature. And so I want other people to experience this that otherwise probably wouldn't. They're used to toilet. So there's something about the squat.
Yeah.
And you feel a little bit vulnerable.
There is a vulnerability,
Yeah.
and especially as a man, like to have your
Right.
nads hanging there.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're in the wilderness. There's so many things on the ground and in the ground, and your nads are just hanging.
Yep. And as soon as it drops, at least in my experience, as soon as it drops, flies are on that. You know, they just get right on
They're
it.
just like, yeah, I got dibs, boys, Bzzz. And they just fly over to it. Like, yeah, they're all in competition.
Yep.
How come he always gets the hottest turd? He's the alpha fly. Don't worry, he'll be dead in 23 hours. You still have 20 minutes on him.
Hot
Okay.
and steamy in Nigeria.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Nigeria, dude. We didn't even talk about Nigeria when we were talking about your bio at the beginning, dude. Okay, well, I guess it's a good point to just like throw it in here to the audience. Cole goes to Nigeria with his church, and they actually build schools for the poverty-stricken areas in Nigeria. I think that's one of the baddest things, because there's so many charities out there, and there's so many ways that people can try to contribute, but that are almost, I would say, like, I don't know if convoluted is the right word, but things get like super complex, and you go like, is this money, like, you know, every time they find out about a scandal at the Red Cross or those kind of things, you're like, did they even put the money I gave them towards like the thing that I gave them the money for, or did they spend it on BS? But with you, like, you're physically hands-on getting your butt out there and helping to build schools for poverty-stricken people in Nigeria. It's just badass. I love it.
Yeah.
If you're like, I was wondering about what charity I should do, this is one that I totally advocate, because I love just knowing that you're straight up going there in person, taking care of the stuff you say you're going to take care of.
Yeah, man. I really appreciated that about you, is that you were one of the people that like voluntarily were like, hey man, like, I do what I do as a real estate agent, and part of what I do is I want to be able to give back to the community. And I had told you, yeah, I self-fund, so when I go, all of my expenses for airfare and lodging and everything like that, I take care of. So what you gave went directly to building a school, which was an awesome
It sounds like a commercial for myself. Like, I'm pretty decent, right, folks? No, but in all seriousness, if anyone's listening to this and they need an encouragement to like donate funds, like, yes, get Cole. How could people get you money? I know we're not even done with the episode yet. This should be at the end, but how can they get you money?
Well, so the name of the organization is Integritas. It's INTEGRITAS men.com.
Sounds like a sexy website.
Integritas. Man.
Integritas, these men salads.
Men of Integritas.
The men of Integritas. You guys have calendars. Here's me and a couple of Nigerians. You're all just naked.
Only
shoveling.
after I've gone through my bathroom that removes all of my hair.
Oh, yeah, totally, dude. This is my waxed body in Africa.
Uh-huh.
The natives love it.
That's right.
The locals are huge fans.
That's right.
They're like, wow, you are a ghost, sir.
That's right. Actually, while I was there, they were tripping out with my hair. Like, some of them either very rarely see white people or don't see them at all. And so they would come, the little kids would come up to me and they were like grabbing my arm hair and were like pulling it like,
whoa, they were
really
like they were like impressed with the arm hair, or just inquisitive about it. What do you call it?
They were inquisitive
Curious?
about it, but it was like, it would hurt. Like, they loved it.
Yeah.
But it was like, I could show you videos. I mean, just mobbed by like 20 kids, which you have kids, so you kind of get it. Imagine 20 of them
pulling
all
your hair.
running at you at the same time, and then pulling your arm hair. So you like want to be like, wow, this is beautiful and
You're like,
amazing,
ow!
but you want someone to be like, get the hell off
Yeah.
of me, that hurts.
You're ripping my toe knuckle hair out.
Exactly.
My 8-month-old pulls my hair on my arm. Then he pulls himself up by my hair. Like, if I'm sitting down, he'll like grab onto my hair on my leg and just. And it's really funny. But to have like 20 people doing that would probably be a little intense.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
painful.
so let's get back to I was excited about you even mentioning Nigeria, and I was like, oh, dude, I gotta go into it because it's so dope. Okay, so we're pooping in the woods, but outdoors yet super private. I go back in. Is there a shower? Is there a bath? Is there?
Yeah. So you've got a shower. You've got you got a place to wash your hands.
Yeah.
You can take a shower.
Yeah.
The toilet is the main thing that I want everybody to experience,
Have a
because it's such a
natural
liberating experience.
It is great. It's like going camping if you've been in the city too long. Like, go see what it's like to just be grateful to like have shade.
Yeah.
To be stoked to be not being eaten by something. It's a really cool feeling.
Or feel like, hey, maybe I'm going to get eaten.
That's scary, but yeah.
Yeah.
It is definitely scary. Okay, so thank you for letting me use the restroom.
You bet.
And where do we go next? Do you take me to a kitchen, living room? Where do you want to go?
I want to take you to the fantasy room.
The fantasy room in your fantasy house.
That's right.
Let's go. Fantasy room. I think I
feel-
might have to go by myself, just so you know.
I feel like this is the Holy of Holies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like the Ark of the Covenant is in the fantasy room of the fantasy house.
Yeah.
So within this, we can't talk about what you see because everybody sees something different, right?
Trippy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all of your greatest fantasies, which is why it's called the fantasy room.
Yeah.
So you go in, you take a look, you see something that I don't.
Wow.
And then it's just kind of like, okay. And then once you leave the fantasy room, outside, for me, I get to spend some time with my pastor, right? Because who knows what happens in the fantasy room?
You need to talk to your
Right?
pastor?
But yeah. After I leave the fantasy room, it's like, okay, need to talk to you
Oh, dude.
about what just happened in the fantasy room.
That's very trippy that we both see different things when we're in there.
Yes.
Like it's like my fantasy. The fantasy room has subjective truths to it, or
Right.
subjective experiences to it.
It's kind of like in Harry. Are you a Harry Potter guy? I feel like in Harry
Not
Potter,
enough to be able to like totally.
Okay, there's a mirror, and in the mirror you see. I think you
Oh,
see
yeah.
what scares you the most.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen the
can't
movies. I haven't
remember.
read the
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
I feel bad being like I'm not a Harry Potter
Right.
because I haven't read the books,
I
but I've
just-
seen the movies, of course.
I just outed you.
Yeah, I've read the Tales of Beetle the Bard, but
Yeah.
I haven't read the actual full novels.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the UCB Upright Citizens Brigade had the Bucket of Truth, and like I do love the idea of that. So we go into your fantasy room, and we came out. You're talking to your pastor. I'm just laying on the ground, calling everyone I know, trying to talk to people and find out like, is everything right? Am I okay? I don't even know what's going on.
You're all right.
It just depends what day you go in, though, right? Like some days you're right. Your fantasy's just like, I just want to fly like an eagle. The next day you're like, I want to have an orgy with like a bunch of toaster ovens that have legs. And you're like,
That's right.
I don't know what I like. I don't know what I am.
It pulls from your subconscious.
Yeah.
So you don't even necessarily know what it is that's going to appear.
Yeah.
It pulls from the subconscious. So things appear in front of you that you have no idea that you even wanted
That's
to desire.
crazy. That's terrifying too. It's like a Salvador Dali, David Lynch subconscious experience in the physical world. Nope. I'll let you go to your fantasy. I'll just hang out with your pastor and smoke a cigarette until you come out. Like, here he comes. All right, go do your work. I'm going to go make a sandwich. Now, where do we go next? What's next? You got a kitchen or a living room?
Yeah, let's go to the garage.
Let's go to the garage, as we say in the
Yeah.
UK. The
Yeah.
garage. We're a garage band. That's the Clash.
And I'm not like a big car guy. Like we were talking about cars just a little bit ago. But
Yeah.
the garage is really not so much about your vehicle as it is what's inside it. So within my garage, there's tubes. Okay. And each tube takes me to one of my friends' houses.
Like a bank tube?
Yeah.
Like you just go in a little...
Exactly.
Like, do they still have those at the banks where you like put it in the little tube and it goes through to the inside the bank and they get it? And
I haven't seen that in a long time.
but you remember those, right?
Yeah.
There's little vacuums. So you just go to your friends like that.
Yeah, they used to have one at the bank off of Lone Hill, but it's been a long time.
Even all the way this far out from Pasadena, we're still making our headway towards technology.
That's right.
Okay, so you get in the tubes if you want to go to your friends.
Correct. So, and the tubes are created.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of subconscious stuff that happens in my house,
Mm-hmm.
right? The tube is created only when, and I don't get to create them. The tubes are generated by themselves when it's a true friendship.
Wow.
And so if I go into my garage and all of a sudden it's like, Jon Shefsky, you can go to his house. That's how I know subconsciously within me and subconsciously within you that it's a true
we have
friendship.
a bond. Something's been woven.
Yes.
That's like a Pixar Inside Out situation now.
Yep. So my heart is very warm
Yeah.
because it's like, I feel that way and John feels that way. And there's no questioning of it. We know that it's a true bond.
We got it.
However, you're a married guy. I'm a single dude, right?
Yeah.
You don't always want me stopping in your house, right?
No, I do. I'm like, my wife was just yelling at me when you came by. Oh, Cole's here. Babe, you can't be mad at me. Cole's here.
So the rule is that unless you click on the do not disturb button, I can come over to your house
That's
whenever
hilarious.
I want. Yeah. So if it's like, I stop in your house and you and your wife are doing whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, bro. Like, you didn't click on your do not disturb button. It's your fault. For all I knew, it was okay if I came over to your house.
That becomes the new thing that my wife does on date night. Like, she starts pouring glasses of tequila, and then she flips on the do not disturb thing.
That's right.
And like, Cole's not that by now.
That's right.
But then, like I said, when she's yelling at me, I like kind of sneak over, like, yeah, babe, well, see it from my perspective. Then I sneakily switch the fucking thing off and like, oh, Cole's here.
And I've been like waiting there. I'm like, ooh. It's like do not disturb. I'm just waiting for you to click on the switch, and then I just jump immediately into your house.
Yeah, and I try to like play it off, like, dude, what are you doing here, man? I'm trying to have a conversation with my wife. Thanks, dude. Just hang out for a couple more minutes. Babe, Cole's here. Maybe you could just take it easy on me.
How cool is that? If you could just visit your friend. One,
it'd be
you
fun as
knew
hell.
that they were legit friends.
Yep.
Two, you could visit them whenever you want. You just jump in the little bank thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's hella fun.
Yeah, dude, that's super rad. And the fact that it's magical, that it's actually bonded by actual friendship is pretty cute. I think you're getting a good Yelp review on peoplewithhearts.com. That's
Hell
really
yeah.
good. Okay, where else do we go? What's else? Is there anything else in the garage, or is that it? You don't need cars because you're like sucking through the vacuum to get to your friend's house.
My 2014 Hyundai Elantra is in the garage.
You are as humble as you are warm, my friend. You're like, I'm not really a car guy. And then you're like, I have a 2019 Elantra. You're like, yeah, you're not a car guy at all.
2014. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm a car dude that doesn't have a cool car. I'm a car dude with a Corolla.
Hell yeah.
Somebody shoot me. Shoot me a car deal. Send me something. Send me a link. I'll buy it.
There's two big things that I want to point out to you about my backyard.
Point them.
One is the life-size chess game that we have going on.
What does that mean, life size?
Life size means like literally it could be Jon Shefsky as like a pawn or a rook.
Is that how you look at me, as a pawn? You piece of shit.
Or my
I couldn't have been a king or a queen.
Or my queen.
Or is there a jokers? Is that just card games?
Nah. Pawn.
Maybe a pawn. Yeah. I almost bought a t-shirt once. I found a really cool like button-up short sleeve like Howard Moon kind of Mighty Boost shirt at the Nordstrom's Rack in LA, and I almost bought it, and I was like, what is the little pattern on here? And I looked closer, and I was like, oh, it's a chess piece. Huh. And I was in the dressing room, and I started asking people, because I walked out of my dressing room, and some lady was there, and she's like, oh, my son's actually on the chess team. He'll be able to tell you. And he looked at it, and without even like batting an eye, as like in passing, was just like, oh, it's a pawn, dude. And I was like, they patterned the shirt with little pawns? Like, is there some sort of subconscious, like, message to try and I couldn't buy the shirt. I was like, I ain't your fucking
You're
pawn.
like, oh, I'm a pawn.
Yeah, why don't they just say tool? I'm a tool written really small as the pattern. Like, it just looked, yeah. So thanks for making me a pawn right now, dude.
Hell yeah. Happy to. So there's two different ways that you can play the game.
Okay.
You can play for fun.
Okay.
Or you can play for keeps.
What does it mean to play chess for keeps? I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a great question.
Is that why they're still searching for Bobby Fischer?
I'm glad that you asked. So for playing for fun, it's like, hey, man, like, you know, it's life size. So real life people.
Yeah.
So you, me, Austin, Chris, whatever, all your friends, we're going to go out and we're going to get squirt guns and I'm going to call out the moves, right? So you're going to, you know, go from, you know, G3 to G4, right?
I don't even know what that means, but yes.
And it's probably incorrect, but we're calling out chess moves.
Okay.
And if there happens to be a pawn or a piece that you can take, then you just shoot him with a squirt gun.
That sounds fine. Is this the not for keeps one?
Yeah, that's for fun.
Why do I feel like the keeps one's going to get scary?
Yeah, keeps get scary.
Oh my God.
But this is going to be fun. It's going to be really fun because for keeps is where all of like the dirty, corrupt politicians and elite, like Jeffrey Epstein, for instance.
Okay.
If, you know, he's gone. However, if he
did he just kill himself or something?
Yeah, he did.
Or was he murdered? Or that's the whole thing.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. But if he went through trial, and he was convicted of what it was that he did, and this is only people that get convicted of their crimes, they come to my house.
Oh, you
my fantasy house.
Sadistic fantasy house, man. Okay.
Rather than getting a squirt gun, they get a gunshot to the head.
An actual real gun?
Yeah,
this is terrifying.
Right. Yeah.
Justice is the theme of this fantasy house.
Right. Yep.
Creative justice.
That's right.
That's a good name for a podcast, Creative Justice. How would you put to death so-and-so?
Chess.
Right? Chess. You just told us. You're like, chess. Real chess for keeps. Okay. Now that our hands are covered in blood and I have post-traumatic stress disorder from watching you execute multiple, even though they're awful people, they were still babies at one point. So you killed some people. Where do we go next?
We're going to go to the comedy room.
You have a comedy room at your house?
I do.
Is this where you have to? A guy who has executions at his house has to have a comedy room at his
That's
house.
right. I'll feel better.
You're a real king, Cole.
I'm kind of all over the
King
place.
Cole. This is great. All right, let's go.
I want a fantasy. I want comedy. I want to be able to execute people. I want all of the things.
Okay, Fidel Castro. Take me to your comedy show.
Yep. So this is just going to be comedians that are presenting, one of my roommates, he's a comedian, and over the past year or so, as he's lived at my house, and then over the past couple of years, as I've really fallen in love with comedy, I've really come to love that part of art, right? Yeah. So I really respect the hustle that comedians have. I got into comedy just because I wanted to laugh. I'm not a comedian, but I just stumbled into the open mic at the Ice House a couple of years ago when I was going through a hard time and made me laugh. I really enjoyed it. So, and it's been cool to be able to see different comedians that I've watched go from being open mic comedians to getting to the next level. Seen my roommate struggle as he's tried to become a comedian. He's doing
good though.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's kicking ass.
Yeah, no, he's great.
It's just a long road.
But it doesn't matter who you are. You have to bust your ass, right? So totally. I've seen him bust his ass. I want those comedians to be able to come over to my comedy room and just like give a show that maybe for whatever reason they've like second guessed themselves of like, oh, I don't know if this joke is going to go over well, or I can't say this thing in this audience. Like I want them to be able to just give a show from their heart, bro.
That's great.
And
is
I want to watch
the name of the club? From the Heart Comedy Club?
Yeah, I guess we just named it.
Welcome to From the Heart Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Will you be sitting up front? You're already covered in blood from the chess game. You don't need a Gallagher jacket.
I was actually talking to Mike about this the other day. So I like to sit in the front. However, I have big legs. And I've been called out a couple of times because they take the chairs.
Do you have big legs? I mean, you're a tall dude.
Yeah. So I've got big, long legs, and when I sit in the
he's got legs, dun, 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 and he sits in the front row at the comedy clubs.
And they're very smooth because the hair's been removed.
Hair's been removed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about them. He tucks his dick. I can't even tell he's a dude. Woo, he's just a big curvy girl in my eyes. All right, go on, sorry.
But I've been called out a few times by comedians, and I didn't know this, and Mike told me. It's like when I sit in the front and they put the chair so close to the stage, I put my foot on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently that's like some big no-no.
Yeah, didn't you watch Blazing Saddles?
No, but I don't know if I'm like man-spreading on the stage or like offending somebody, but I'm like, no, I'm just 6'3".
Yeah.
My legs have no room, so I have to put them on the stage.
I'm just looking for somewhere to store this foot.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I would sit in the front, except I don't want to get called out by a comedian for putting my feet on the stage.
If you sit in front, you're generally going to be... Because the lights are so bright when you're on stage a lot of times, the only people you can see is probably the first and second row.
Yeah.
Depending on what club you're at. But you generally... like those are the people you can see. So even no matter how, if you sit in the front, like usually if the comedian's into crowd work at all and they're going to address the audience, that's who they're looking at. When they're like, what's up? What's your story? You know what I mean? So like... You're just asking for trouble if you sit in front. But unless you want that kind of trouble, it can be fun,
It is kind of fun.
Right? Where are we going next?
Let's go to the living room.
I thought you were the master bedroom. Now you got extra rooms you want to show me.
Yeah.
Show me the living room.
All right.
You got 10 seconds. How good is it?
Okay. Living room just has a really, really big rug.
Okay.
It's like very like soft that you can lay on.
What color is it?
Pink.
Pink, and what material?
Soft material.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of Freudian stuff here. Your living room's a giant vagina. Okay, go on.
And it has a giant fireplace.
Okay,
I really dig the fireplaces.
I'm not sure what orifice that is. It could be the mouth, although you're a tongue brusher. Okay, giant fireplace.
All right.
What's a giant fireplace? Can you describe that to us?
It's like as tall as me.
Okay, like in a French, like a castle.
Yeah.
Like okay. I
love
like
that. I stand up. I'm 6'3". It's taller than me. Let's call it 7 feet tall.
Oh wow! Like you could walk into the fire.
Yeah.
Badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now I'm taking you up to my master bedroom.
Take me to the master bedroom. Cole's master bedroom is blowing my mind.
My girlfriend, my sophomore year of high school.
Oh my God! She's been stuck in your master bedroom. Is this a prison? You freak! Couldn't you just keep her in your fantasy room? Okay, go on.
No, but her uncle had this her grandparents had this great house. One of the rooms, the entire room was a mattress.
Not true.
I swear.
A real mattress? Do people have been on Fantasy House since me starting the show? I'd say 8 out of 10 guests have been like, "There's the master bedroom, the whole room's a mattress." And I'm like, "That's rad because it's your fantasy house." But no, this doesn't exist in real life. Are you serious?
It did at her grandparents'
Oh my
house.
God.
They were loaded. They had all kinds of. They had like Bentleys, Ferraris, all kinds of crazy stuff.
But they had a full mattress room.
They had a room that was all mattress.
Oh, it's so rad! I can't wait for everyone. All the
To call
fantasy-
bullshit. It's true.
No, I can't. No, not even. I believe
Yeah,
you. I
yeah.
just can't wait for all the fantasy house guests that have like. I mean, like on and off air, I've had people be like, "But that's not, it's not doable." But I'm like, "No, it's your fantasy. You do it."
So it's all mattress.
Okay.
Right. Let's take you to the bathroom.
Take me to the bathroom. Is that Al
Yep.
Green?
So this bathroom does have a toilet.
Okay.
It's not like the guest bathroom. Shower heads coming from every single angle, from the top to the sides, not the bottom. That would be weird. I don't want.
Give your body a break to not be sprayed from some direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've got a dozen different shower heads coming from every angle. I just love being clean. I'm like that guy that as soon as I go out, I do my thing, whatever. Like when I come home, I want to shower and just get everything.
Yeah,
so that'll be the easiest way. It's got good velocity, not so hard that it's like hurting the water.
Perfect pressure. Let's just say that.
Amazing pressure.
Yeah. You
Yep.
deserve perfect pressure.
Yep.
As your fantasy house realtor.
Yep.
My client deserves the perfect pressure.
Yep.
And he will have it.
Wouldn't it be? I've been in some pretty big showers, but a shower the size 50 square feet is a pretty legit shower.
I think so. My friend Sean, when I was growing up in high school, his parents moved from Chino Hills to Corona into this gorgeous, rad ranch home, like a 4,000 square foot, 1-story ranch home. And this is when Corona was like affordable. So you left Chino Hills to go to Corona because you could buy
you went further
so
east.
much value.
Because it was the boonies.
Dude, serious, right? But the house was like just a gorgeous ranch home with, I think it was built for a handicapped person because the bathroom had it was very wheelchair accessible, but the shower was as big as this room, and you could basically roll into a ramp into it, and I loved showering there. It was so nice, and there was no glass door, nothing, because it was so big that there was no worry about water getting out of it.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Instagram is
Okay.
going to be the best place. You just at va.guru, va.guru.
And if they want to give you money towards Nigeria, should they just hit you up on there and then just contact you?
Yeah, they could just send me a direct
That's
message
easy. It's
that
just
way.
like one direct
right.
call to action. Like if you guys want to get a hold of Cole, if you want to work with Cole, if you have a question, he can refinance your house for you. If you want to know about investment properties, if you're a veteran and you want to know about all the options for you, like Cole can handle all that stuff. And at the same time you have 5-star service, which is what I love to represent too. Like, you know how to talk to people and treat them like they are human beings and not just like, you're a customer, you're a number. Like, no, you treat everyone great. And I love that. So if you guys need someone to take care of you like that also is kick ass at their job, Cole's your dude.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you, man. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like a hashtag blessed guest getting to be at your fantasy house. It was a great experience. Great experience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for giving us 40 solid. I don't think we got anything lower than a 5-star review. We have 40 reviews and they're 5-star. I'm so stoked on that. And I'm going to start reading those out soon. And I don't say that every episode because I like to build it up. I hope I'm edging all of you guys on getting your reviews read. I'm excited. Once we get to 50, I'm going to start reading them. So we're like almost there.
Yep.
So yeah, guys. Thank you guys so much. Shefsky out.